Hello, this is Adolf. Welcome to the video lecture series on the course of building construction. So this is the lecture number 5, the unit number 3, and it is a part number 3 in brick masonry. In this video, we are going to see about the checking of brickwork, striking and pointing, racking mortar joint, lead and lift, and what are the precautions in the brick masonry. So these topics we are going to cover in this video. Let's start with the checking of brickwork. Four steps are required to check brickwork as it is being built. The first one is gauge. It's check the height of the course. Second one is level. It makes sure the course is level. Third one is plumb. Make sure that the wall is vertical. And the final one is straight. This will make sure the wall is straight or not. These checks should be carried out as each course is laid. And in order to ensure that the previous checks are not disturbed while doing this checks in the freshly laid courses. The first checking of brickwork is gauge. So when building any wall, it's necessary to keep the courses at the corner at the same height. So we have to maintain the same height at the corners. So this to be done by using the gauge board. So gauge board is used to keep the courses at the corner at the same height. So mark out a piece of timber with the marks corresponding to spacing of one brick height plus the thickness of the bed joint. So use the rod at the corner when each course is begun. So as shown in the diagram, so we have to check whether the courses are at same height or not. So for that we have to use the rod at the corner when each courses begin. And we have to check whether it is at the correct height or not. So on uneven ground, start we have to find how we can find the height of the courses by putting a datum peg next to the wall so that the gauge rod can be easily positioned. So we have to analyze first we have to assign the datum line, then we have to put the gauge rod on the datum so that we can easily measure the height of the each course. The second checking of brickwork is level. So this checking is done by using spirit level to keep the course at level. We have to remember that the corner bricks have been set to the correct height. So we have to do any adjustment to the wall, it should be done by bedding down the bricks in from the corner. We know bricks are not made to very tight tolerance, so don't waste our time trying to get each brick exactly level to one another. So the point is to get the parts of the brick, so some parts of the brick which touch the underside of the spirit level, so then we will assume it is a it will be in the correct level only. The third checking of brickwork is plumb. So, check in this we have to check the wall face is vertically or not by using the spirit level. So, verticality of the face of the wall by using the spirit level. So, if you want to adjust the brick for if necessary, we have to tap the brick across the wall. So tap the brick across the wall as necessary to adjust the brick as per your requirement. And do not try to do this at the both ends of the wall. So we have to choose one side as the face and just plumb that side. So don't try to do it from the two sides. We have to choose one side as the face and we have to plumb that side. This is the plumb. The last checking of brickwork is straight. So they straighten the course by using a straight edge between the points previous plumbed. So this was done where we stop our plumb. We have to get start from that point. We have to do the straight checking. So we have to take this. We have to align as shown in the diagram. We have to align two things. So we have to check whether these bricks are straight or not. If the bricks are not straight, then we have to tap the bricks as per the requirement. So same like as the plumbing the wall, we have to check the face of the wall. So check both. Don't try to straighten the both sides of the wall. Any one side we have to choose and we have to straighten the wall. So here the problem of the shape of the bricks comes into play, because bricks sometimes not in every bricks are not in equal shape. So here the problem is the shape of the bricks, and it's unlikely that the straight edge will touch each brick across its whole face. So try to get the center of each brick to touch the straight edge. So don't try to every brick center should touch the straight edge. It should not be possible. Some try to get the center of each brick to touch the straight edges. Not all the face, not all the part of the brick should be touched by the straight edge. At least the center part should have to touch the straight edge. And the two ends of the brick roughly equally spaced from it. So the two ends of the brick roughly equally spaced from it. So these are the checks we have to do in the brickwork. The next heading is striking and pointing. So striking is the finishing the mortar joint between newly laid bricks. So this is one brick and this is another brick. So this is a mortar joint. So we have to finish this mortar joint and it laid between newly laid bricks. So that is called a striking. So pointing is applying a small amount of mortar into the face joint between bricks. So this pointing can be done in new brickwork as well as in old brickwork. So new brickwork, it will done to increase the weather protection on exposed faces. So whether it is an facing or backing facing. So whether it is a facing, we will to increase the weather protection. So we will give this pointing. So in old brickwork, it is used to repair mortar joint eroded by exposure to weather. Sometimes your brick wall should be affected by the weathering. That means some mortar will be eroded from it. So we have to repair that. For that, in a old brickwork, we are also doing the pointing. What are the different types of pointing that are available? The first one is flush pointing. So as seen in the diagram, it is a flush pointing. See here or see here, this is a flush pointing. What is a flush pointing means? This type of pointing is formed by pressing mortar in the rack joint and by finishing off flush with the edge of masonry unit. So it is mostly like a straight surface, straight edges. So this is how the flush pointing will look like. The edges are neatly trimmed with trowel and straight edges, and this type of flush pointing does not give any good appearance. So however, this type of pointing is more durable since it does not provide any space for accumulation of dust or water. So due to this reason, flush pointing is extensively used in the field of construction. So this is a flush pointing. Second one is recessed pointing. So this recessed pointing is done by pressing the mortar back from edge by 5 mm or more. So this is the a gap will be given. So this gap will be 5 mm or more. This type of flushing is called recessed pointing. Sorry, this type of pointing we call it as a recessed pointing. The face of the pointing is kept vertical, and this pointing gives a very good appearance. Third one is rubbed, keyed or grooved pointing. So at the end we will have a groove structure, groove like shape. So this pointing is a modification of flush pointing. So by forming a groove at its mid height by a pointing tool. So by pointing tool we are making a groove on the uh, groove at its mid height. So it gives better appearances also. So this is the rub, keyed or grooved pointing. Fourth one is beaded pointing. So this is the special type of pointing formed by a steel or iron with concave edges. Steel or iron with the concave edges as shown in the diagram. It is having a concave edges. So it gives a good appearance to the surface, and but it is liable to damage easily. So see here, it is like a one projection, so it will easily damage, it can be easily damaged. So that's why we are nowadays we are not using this beaded pointing very much. Fifth one is struck pointing. So struck pointing is a modification of flush pointing. So flush pointing, it is a flat, but in a struck pointing the face of the pointing is kept inclined. So here the face will be inclined. How it is inclined means the upper edge is inclined in pressed by 10 mm. So this is 10 mm, it was pressed inside. So the form will be like this. The finish will be in an inclined manner. So this pointing drain water very quickly because it is an inclined angle, so it will drain water very easily and quickly. Sixth type of pointing is tuck pointing. So see the diagram. So this is how one small projection. So this projection is called tuck pointing, and this material we use for tuck pointing is white cement putty. So how this tuck pointing is made? So this tuck pointing is formed by pressing the mortar in the rack joint. So we are pressing the mortar from here to here, we are pressing the mortar, the rack joint, and finishing flush with the face. When the pressed mortar is green, a groove or narrow channel having 5 mm width and 3 mm depth is cut in the center of the groove. So with this narrow channel, we will cut in the center of the groove. Center of the groove. So then the groove is filled in with white cement putty. So this will keep a projection beyond the face of the joint by 3 mm. This projection is 3 mm. So projection is 3 mm. If projection is done in mortar, so we are using white putty. So if it is this projection is made in mortar, it is called ballast pointing or half tuck pointing. So this is the tuck pointing. Seventh one is V pointing. So this is how it will look like, V grooved pointing. Shape is V shape. This is formed by forming a V groove in the flush finishing phase. So there's a pointing in it, so water can easily drain over it. And the weathered pointing is, this is the weathered pointing. It is a outward a V-shaped projection on it. So this pointing is made by making a projection in the form of V shape. That is called weathered pointing. So these are the types of pointing we are used in the field of construction. The next topic is rack motor joint. This rack motor joint, as seen in the diagram, it is having some gap. So see in this diagram we have some gap between it. So these rack motor joints are not used for exterior wall construction. So why we are not using this exterior wall construction? Because this is have a ledge form in the joint. There is a gap form in the joint between this one. So in this gap, sometimes snow, ice or water stay on the top of the brick. So if it is stay on the top of the brick, the water have can make the brick to very wet, then it will fail. So that's why we are not using it for a exterior wall construction. And this joint has less space between the mortar joint and the top of the brick unit. So this space created by the created where the core exists. So this space created, right? So here it will be, let make them entry for water, thus penetrating into the wall. So this space will act as an entry point of the water to penetrate into the wall. So this type of racked mortar joint is used for interior walls only, not in the exterior walls. This type of mortar joint walls will be used in the interior only. The next topic is lead and lift. So what is the lead is? Lead is the average distance between of earthwork and the center of deposition. So this is the filling area. Okay. Filling area. This one is the cutting area where we have to take the soil. This from here we will take the soil and we will deposit the soil over here. So the horizontal distance between these two is called lead. The lead is generally measured in terms of 50-meter distance. So lead is generally mentioned in terms of 50-meter distance. Then lift is the average vertical distance between level of excavation and to this place of spreading or heaping. So it is the center distance from where we are cutting and to where we are filling. So this is the lift. So the unit of lift is 2 meter for first lift and 1 extra lift for every 1 meter. So this is the lift. And what are the precautions we have to consider in the brick masonry? Bricks should be as per the specification. Bricks should be soaked in water before using them into the masonry work. Use of brick bats should not be more. You can use very little number, should not more numbers we cannot use. Frog should be on the top surface. Bricks should be neatly and properly laid on mortar. And brick masonry work should be done in proper bonding. Brick should be perfectly in level. The mortar we are going to use, it should be as per the specification and it should be fresh. The old fast for doors or any other lintel windows for old fast for doors or windows should be properly inserted into the masonry work. After completion of brickwork, a proper curing, at least 7 days, should be done to the masonry work for getting required strength. So these are the precautions we have to consider in the brick masonry. So in this video, first we start with the checking of brickwork, that is gauge, level, plumb and straight. After that, we go for the striking and pointing, and what are the types of pointing. What are the types of pointing? Then we saw the lead and lift, and finally, what are the precautions in the brickwork. Thank you.